Well, yes, clicking off some problems on the little red truck. Some things didn't work on it. I didn't know about when I bought it. It's pain in the ass things. All the lights work, except the headlights, and the reverse lights, and the dash lights. So I had all the parking lights, directionals, everything worked but the headlights, high and low beam. So I knew the switch probably wasn't the problem, but for the heck of it, I checked the blue wire, which is the main feed, and sure enough, with the headlight switch, nothing. I jumpered it to the battery, headlights came on, switch worked fine. So that brought us upstream to the 99% of the time is the problem headlight switch. A box of parts came with the truck, and the original switch was in the truck. And I figured the guy kept it for reference because it's probably junk. But in the dashboard was a brandy new one, and that too was junk. Had no output to the dash lights or to the headlight high-low beam switch. So I go cruising down, get a brandy new one, put it in. Everything seems to be working fine. I have output to the dash lights, but no dash lights. But the headlights now are functioning, doing all that stuff. I'm probably a ground. That's where the stuff all grounds to. It looks pretty horrific. I'm gonna get in there and just clean that up real good. I'm gonna pull that block and sandblast it, make everything new. Make sure I got solid ground, and I think that's probably also part of the problem with the under the dash lights not coming on. There's one in the corner, center, and one in that corner, and when you turn the switch or you open the door, those are supposed to come on. Dome light is supposed to come on. I temporarily put a bulb in the dome light, and I know that works, so I know the switch is good for that part. So I still have to figure out the problem with the dash lights and the under dash lights. The reverse lights was something else completely. There is a neutral safety switch. I don't know if you can see it up there. And that has a set of contacts for the neutral safety switch, so you can't start the vehicle in gear. Another set of contacts for the reverse lights, yet another set of contacts, that's me, up in there. So I saw the bare contacts and I thought, oh, well, they're not connected, that's why they're not working. No, that's just spare contacts, that's all. So I got out my handy schematic, started looking at the wiring. I found out the light green and black wire goes to the contacts for the reverse lights, and when you pull the handle down, that switch makes contact. So I just essentially jumpered that wire connector out, and I had reverse lights. So that told me the switch was bad. I got to pull the switch out and replace it. I did manage to get up in there with a meter while, somebody else turned the key and brought it into reverse, and the contacts didn't work. So that's what kind of took care of that. That's being fixed. The radio is another story. This windshield was replaced. It's supposed to have an antenna in it. The windshield antenna mounts into that little connector right there. And it comes down the windshield, goes down that little hole, connects into that cable extension, and plugs in the back of your radio. So I'm going to, when I do the restoration in fall, that's going to get the proper antenna glass for the truck. The other problem, somebody hated radios. They like dead mount radios, I don't know why, but they decided to fold back all the metal, hit it with a hacksaw, and just bend it into the truck. And I don't know why they did this for a dead mounted radio, because the original dash was still in the truck. This is the original, and it's set up for a standard radio. I mean, literally a standard radio. These are not the right mounting holes. These are just holes for your shafts to pass through. So you can't really mount to those holes. So I'm gonna have to come up with something, try and bend that metal back, weld it back up, make sure it's sturdy. I can put a radio to. I don't know why people do dumb shit. They make adapters for DIN radios that you can put in, and of course, let's just cut all the wires. So I have new connectors on order for this truck. Came with rear speakers and a front speaker, so I'm gonna get that all straightened out. I don't know where the front speaker went. The wires are there. They go up to where the speaker would be up in the front, but then they just kind of are cut off. So I'm not sure. When they replaced the windshield, I don't know if they had the dash pad off and just took the speaker out. No clue. So those are some of the things we're working on right now. We got it back to, up and running and operating condition. We just got a couple things to work out. This truck had a beat gear selector. It was roached. So, junk! Put a new one in. And now I've got my little Prinduzler, as the old timers used to call it. This too had a little bit of a problem. I don't know if I can get up in the truck anymore. So this clip is what goes on this plastic sheathing, and it's all broken out. This is busted out, and this rotates with the gear shift, pulls on this guy and tells your Prinduzler what gear you're in. So to replace that black plastic cup, you have to pull the entire steering column apart. So in fall, during the restoration, we are going to rebuild the whole steering column. I was going to buy a new one and put it in. I want the factory GM one. This has the common problem with the tilt wheels where you can kind of just wobble the column. There's an orbital piece down in the back, and that orbital piece has 4 bolts. Those 4 bolts you tighten up and that whole issue goes away. So I'm just going to rehab the whole column when I have it out. That'll be a good time to put the cruise control stalk back on. Somebody took that out and put the standard one in. This truck has cruise control, and they were at least nice enough to bundle the wires up after they cut them off the handle and leave it plugged in so I know where it goes. And I was able to tell from the connector exactly which one I need. So that's great. Reverse lights work, jumper disc out, and that all works. We'll get the new switch on the way, we'll get that put in, and we'll just keep trucking on the trucking. Oh, another cool thing this truck was ordered with that I don't know why they did this. This truck comes with variable speed wipers and delay. There's normally a knob, so I have a replacement one for this on order. They put a new one in, but it's not the right one. So they put a lot of stuff into this truck that wasn't the right ones. But we'll go and capture all those problems as time goes by. We'll get the under dash lights working. We'll make sure the pin switches are connected right to that. The dome light works. It's nickel and dime stuff we're dealing with right now, and we'll get it done because that's what we do. We fix things. So stay tuned, y'all.